Alright, I think I got it now. Ugh. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. Alright, I think I got it now. Ugh. Okay, I'm gonna share this real quick. I'm gonna try to get some people in here. I just wanna talk to you all real quick. We have ourselves here a one-on-one conversation. So this is pretty much my post-Slavation stream. Hopefully I can get some people in here. I want to just talk to you all. I just want to thank a lot of people. Hello there, Damien. Just try to get some more people in here. This is the post-Salvation stream. I'll be mostly top BL character. Might also do like a Q&A with this. Yep. That's quite the ending. And hello there, Brandon. Let's try to get some more people in here. Whew. What a show, huh? What a show. Alright. Whew. Okay, just making sure I get the word out to everyone. I'm glad for everyone who came here to both nights, those who were able to catch everything, or those who were able to just catch what they could. I want to thank you all for coming out to this show, to both nights. It really means a lot. It really does mean a lot. Oof. Let me see. Any more people in the chat? Oh, hello there, Andrew. Hello. And hello there, Ken. Glad you're here. So, and thank you, Eris. Thank you. So yeah, that was the conclusion of the Hatred Saga. It's been a long time coming. That saga was meant to not last as long as it did. Well, the season wasn't supposed to last as long as it did, but real life happens. Stuff gets in the way, and plus work and stuff like that becomes a priority. Thank you, V. But yeah, finally got this season to the finish line. It was quite the journey. This pretty much almost 2 years that I worked on this season. But finally got there. Finally got it there, and I had a lot of help from a lot of people. and I want to thank them for their help. I want to thank people like D Wall. I want to thank people like Ken, Sam. I want to thank people like Malik. V helped. Aris, you helped. Die helped. Hit Kid helped. And hell, even the dog helped. Thank you, doggy. No, I'm kidding. We love you, Charles. But yeah. So with that ending, I was real nervous with that ending because I didn't know if people were gonna like it or not, because you know how I do stuff. I think outside the box. I'm not, with your traditional call wrestling. I do like to implement like anime type stuff. And Maddie, don't be sad. Don't be sad. It's the fact that you've been a part of this journey. You've been able to enjoy the show as much as you can. I appreciate your viewership. But yeah, I really didn't know how people were gonna take that main event. The entire thing of Hatred. It's gone through so much. It went so much ups and downs. Mostly because of either time restraint or ideas getting lost, or just depression getting in the way. Now a couple of characters have straight up disappeared. I mean, there was Julian, the vampire. He gets completely disappeared. He was supposed to have a bigger role, but I just couldn't think of anything for him, so I just pushed him to the back. I might bring that character back sometime down the road. Of course, Sybil and Cleo, they were supposed to have bigger roles, but again, just like with Julian, I really didn't know what to do, and it helped. It helped. It hurt. It hurt the story sometimes, where I couldn't figure out what I wanted to do with some of the characters. But I think when I started getting the ball rolling, especially when I started introducing, when I brought Alduin back, which his return saga was supposed to be a little bit longer, but again, stuff happens. But Ashes of Eden, really, that's where I knew things. It was time to get the ball rolling to get to conclusion. Introducing Unazal Loss. And I know a lot of people were expecting like other matches, and then I know you were supposed to have a match with like GMR and Jose Blanco, but again, time restraints. It happens. But I think with the ups and downs that I had with the story, I think overall I enjoyed it. I enjoyed doing the story, but it was time for it to conclude. It was time for it to conclude, and I think I did. I think I did a pretty good job. I hope you all did enjoy that big main event. I tried to make it feel like that big anime showdown, that Dragon Ball Z-ish. We'll talk about ideas later, Maddie. And I hope I was able to get that essence about with that main event. I hope it really did feel like a big anime final battle, like something you would see in Dragon Ball or what have you. I mean, hell, this was my Fusion Saga. Um, so yeah, I mean, we had a World Destroyer with that Super Saiyan. I didn't want to get in trouble, you know. I might have been able to find a cover of it and probably wouldn't have gotten copyright issues, um, but yeah, and with that, you saw in the post credits, a lot of stuff is starting to be hinted at what's going to be happening on the next season, who some of the big baddies are going to be. Ashino and Tiger Devil definitely going to be some baddies to look forward to. And that mystery guy. Ooh, who's that mystery guy? Yeah, KD's pretty much a one done. Oh, well, you never know. Never know when KD might ever appear. Kind of like Kishin Liger. Kishin Liger only appeared 4 times. You never know. Maybe we might see KD appear one more time. Who knows? If KD is ever needed ever again. But yeah, like I said, this season has been it was fun. Didn't go exactly how I wanted to. There were some things I wanted to do, some things I never got to, some things that changed for the worse, some things that changed for the better. But I think overall, I really enjoyed doing this season, but it was time to conclude that big story. I guess also to really because there was some confusion about what happened the previous night with the Bloody Mary and the Bloody Mary situation. So both of them were Bloody Mary. No one was fake. There's no fake Bloody Mary or anything like that. They were both Bloody Mary. The Bloody Mary that was in Hatred was a shard. It was a rogue shard. It was still Bloody Mary, but it formed its own personality and stuff like that. But it still was still Bloody Mary. Now that means Bloody Mary could eventually come back. I do know I did talk to someone else. There is some stuff that needs to be finished elsewhere, but I won't tell you where that elsewhere is. But I can confirm that Bloody Mary might come back. But yeah. Yeah, just like that. Shit, I was gonna say something else, but I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh fuck. Oh yeah. So I will be migrating to 24 next season. Still will be on 23, but slowly, I will migrate into 24. Just need to start making characters and stuff like that, and downloading people. ZPW. We can get to that in a bit. We can get to that in a bit. I'll do a Q&A in a bit. And yeah, that could be one of your questions if you wanted it to be. Um, we shit. God damn it! I had a train of thought, and then fucking Maddie made me lose my thought. Fuck. Uh, yeah, Bloody Mary. She could be back. And yeah, yeah, it does kind of act. It is kind of it does kind of suck that we're back to the old schedule of having to migrate like almost once every 2 years just to keep up with what's going on because servers and stuff like that. Um, I really didn't want to switch to 24 because 24 has a lot of issues that I feel like still need to be addressed, but um, but I see that everyone's just going to 24, so I'm just like, well, fuck, I'm gonna be left in the dust, and the servers are gonna be down and shit like that. So it's like, a part of me almost wants to wait until 25 because it's like we're getting so close to it, and so I'm almost like, fuck it, I just should you know finish out 23 and then wait for 25. But it depends. It depends on what I want to do. But yeah, I guess we're gonna be to this part of the video where I'm just gonna do a Q&A. If you have any questions, please don't be mainly about, oh, can I join UWO or ZPW? Please don't do that. I mean, do like legit questions, like where I came up with this idea and yada yada yada. Like give me like actual good Q&A questions, okay? I don't want people in here just asking, oh, can I join UWO? So yeah, I'll give you all a bit if you want to ask some questions. Yeah. By the way, thank you to D-Wall for making this fantastic logo. He was the one that made this logo. He's the one that usually makes the logos for UWO, and I appreciate him. Really appreciate him. This is a really good logo. And this logo and the atmosphere was really what inspired the color scheme for Salvation and stuff like that. And this color is the only reason why the red Hell in a Cell was used. I usually hate that red Hell in a Cell, but it actually looked good in the Salvation arena. So okay, so what's next for Yuki the Fiend? So that right there is something that you're just gonna have to wait and see, because that's season premieres type of stuff. But yeah, Yuki's about to be on her season 2 arc in UWL. Just wait and see what trauma I'm going to endure. I'm going to give Yuki next. Was eliminating Damien from really quickly, or that was not meant to happen, or actually, so the pre-show battle royale, because I knew you were gonna. I love you to death, Maddie, but as soon as I knew I was gonna do that, you're gonna ask that. So that happened because the character so that entire matchup until the ending was all AI versus AI. So it wasn't me just doing it just to give you a big arc. I turned it into an arc for your character, but that's just the AI being the AI. So yeah, so Tomas So that's why Tomas instant killed you almost. Is because that's the way the AI did it. Um, how the pre-show wasn't even meant to happen. The pre-show just happened because I needed to do the Jaden Reese thing. Um, because I had forgotten that Jaden Reese was supposed to be in the ladder match. I was like, oh fuck! And so I was like, you know what? I'll just have her be suspended, and I have her and I had to find a reason why she needed to be suspended. So, so that's what happened. Um, so yeah, that's why that pre-show even happened, is because I forgot to put fucking Jaden Reese in the ladder match. So yeah, so that's why that arc's happening. But hell, that gives Jaden Reese something to do, and that's going to give something Julia Bolek to do next season. So that's definitely going to be a feud to look out for. OCC, I talked to you about everything in DM. Yes, Charles, you talked to me about everything in DMs. I see I have two, right down there, I have two Discord things popping up right there. So God knows what you're wanting to ask me in the DM. Let me see if it's, nope, it's not you. Okay, you're lucky. You're lucky. Of course, when you DM me, Charles. Let's see. Anyone else got any questions? You can ask me anything. Ask me anything UWO related, ZPW related. Ask me wrestling related questions. Anything. Ask me what my favorite color is. I don't care. Um, um, yeah, yes, Charles. Charles, sometimes I wake up at 3 o'clock in the fucking morning, and you have messaged me something, Charles. Don't act like you haven't DM'd me at 3 o'clock in the fucking morning. What is Was Beatrix originally supposed to defeat Fiona Lovelace? Because to be honest, that was shocking. Because that was a shocking turnabout. Yeah. So was Beatrix Decker originally supposed? So yeah, that was the plan finished. That was the plan finished. Beatrix Decker was the plan finished. And also Andrew. I don't mean to ignore your DMs. I think sometimes they just they either don't show up or I see them and then I forget them. But I never intentionally mean to ever ignore your DMs. It might be they're not showing up, or I forget that they're there. Because sometimes I do check and I want to respond, but then of course I have two jobs and then I end up forgetting that someone DM'd me. Because that happens all the time. But you can DM me anytime. Either Discord or Twitter. I never intend to ignore DMs. It just happens sometimes, two jobs, and I end up forgetting that. Is Damien? God damn it! God damn it, Maddie! Of course you're gonna ask another question about yourself. Yes, it's gonna happen, Maddie. It's gonna happen. Hold your horses. Hold your butt cheeks. Okay? It's gonna happen. Oh, you're fine, Andrew. You're fine. You're not a nuisance. You're not a nuisance. Just sometimes if you have to DM me a couple of times, then that's fine. Because sometimes I have to be reminded of a DM, but never be afraid to DM me. I don't mean to ignore DMs. Sometimes it just happens. Again, like I said, I have two jobs, and sometimes I look at it and then I get distracted because I got a security job, and then I deal with phones all day with people, and the stories I could tell you about my phone job. Whew. But yeah, I promise I'm gonna do better though. I promise gonna do better. What do you think of the Motor City Machine Gun? What, they won the tag team titles? I I did not know that. I did not know that they won the tag team titles. I need to look that up and see what exactly happened. How they, because they just showed up and they won the fucking titles. What the fuck? Um. Well. Oh shit. Let's see. Are you playing? No. I. To be honest with you, I don't keep up too much anything WWE related. Hell, I barely keep up anything AEW related. Sometimes it's just major wrestling can be a chore sometimes. And especially from both companies recently, it's just like it's just feeling a little exhausting because it's like there's stuff that needs. I feel like both companies need to improve on, and it's just like it feels like a down period, and I feel like I will keep up with what's going on with the stuff that's currently going on with with the Blackpool Combat Club because that's actually a very interesting storyline. So I'm at least keeping up with that. Anything WWE related is the only thing I keep up WWE related is anything Wyatt 6. So yeah. So if it's Wyatt 6, yeah, I'm keeping up with it. So it's the Blackpool Combat Club for AEW and the Wyatt 6 for WWE. And also, thank you, Hit. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it was an enjoy ride. It was an enjoy ride. It was a joy. A long time ago, I probably could be able to watch it all. I'm with you, Andrew. At one point, I could have watched all of that, but I think as the older I get, it's just like, fuck, there's just too much. There's just so much going on right now. And when I do check out AEW, it's usually just Dynamite, Rampage, and Collision. I'll just check out stuff like anything that's on Twitter or YouTube, if anything noteworthy. WWE, again, it's just I just keep up with anything that's on Twitter or YouTube. Now, back when I was a kid, I could watch Raw, SmackDown, Nitro, and Thunder. Yes, I would watch Thunder as a kid. And how and when it did air, I would watch ECW on TNN. But that show, but ECW was just all over the fucking place. Back then because TNN fucked them over. But we could go into big. We can go on a big rant about how TNN treated ECW. Who the fuck gives? Hey, I gave a fuck about WCW. About WCW Thunder because I was actually more of a WCW kid than I was a WWE kid. Yeah, I was more into watching what they were doing on WCW than I did with the WWE. I didn't get really into WWF until like I would tune in once in a while, but WCW was my bread and butter. It wasn't until like around 98, 99 when I fully just became a WWF kid. Um, and then it would just be I would barely watch anything WCW related. Um, Mostly because WCW started to go downhill around that time. Um, uh, yeah. I also remember back then. So back then when I would watch wrestling on TNN, because um, for the first couple of years of in the 2000s, when Raw went to TNN, that was like my channel right there for a while, because you would have you would have WWE on there, but then you would have Monster Jam, and then you would have Roller Jam and stuff like that. Um, and then they would have some other shit. I can't remember what other stuff they had on there, but yeah, TNN was like the channel I would watch, and also I would watch like WWE Confidential, which I fucking loved Confidential, because it really felt like, ooh, we're getting to see the behind the scenes stuff. Now that's like a dime a dozen. Like that's fucking YouTube wrestling right there. So, ooh, behind the business stuff. But WWE Confidential back in the day, um, that was my shit. And then there was then there was that early Sunday show, Sunday morning show they did. Was it Experience? I think that was called. I know it had like I know Ivory was one of the co-hosts, but was it Josh Matthews and Ivory? It was it was pretty much a recap show that happened on Sundays. I can't remember what it was fucking called. Can't fucking remember what it was called. I think it was called Experience. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it happened on Sunday mornings. It had Ivory, and I think it had Josh Matthews or Todd Grisham, I think. Let me look that up real quick. Probably. What was it called? What was that fucking show called? Professional wrestling career, blah blah blah. Come on. Yeah, it was the WWE Experience. Yeah. Um, that was actually my the shit. That was the shit. I would actually watch that. Mostly because at one point, that was the only way I could keep up with SmackDown, because the package deal my parents had, for whatever reason, because that was like that was supposed to be a local channel, but for whatever reason I did not get UPN. I didn't get UPN until I want to say 04, when when I finally got UPN slash the CW network, where I finally could watch SmackDown. But that was the only way I could keep up with SmackDown was WWE Experience. So that and Velocity, because Velocity will show up on TNN. So that was the only way I could recap SmackDown for like a good number of years. And that pissed me off, because there was a lot of good shit that was happening on SmackDown during that time. And unfortunately, I was relegated to watching the fucking Reign of Terror on Raw. Um, let's see what else. What other questions do we have here? Hey, any plans for? Again, when it comes to like plans, like with the characters, I really can't give too much. Um, because again, that's spoilers right there, and things are always subject to change, so I can't give away what I'm gonna do. But yeah, there's I got plans for Roberta. Mary's. It's gonna be a while until we see Mary again. I'm just gonna let you know that it's gonna be a while because again, she was the main villain for like 3.5 years. So Mary as a character needs a rest. Mary as a character needs a rest. Um, but if you want to like ask me questions about origins of characters or origins of like names for events and stuff like that, that's the type of questions I need. Or like, well, what's my top five favorite wrestling matches, or what I think the most underrated Minecraft block is. Yeah, we can talk about that down the road, Brandon. We'll talk about that down the road. Um, let's see. What else do we got here? 9 people watching me right now. Make a complete and total ass of myself. I don't really do shit like this too often where I'm just shooting the shit. Top 10 favorite wrestling moves? Okay. Okay. Top 10 wrestling moves. Woo. I have to do a top 10? Okay, let's see. I can't give a top 10. I'll give a top 5 because that'd be a little bit easier. One Wing Angel, the Rainmaker, the Pile Driver, Emerald Explosion, and the Burning Hammer. Those are my top 5 finishers right there. What inspired you to do UWL? So, that's an interesting question right there. What inspired me to do UWO? So, I've been watching Call for a very long time. I started watching Call back in 05. First Call League I ever watched was No DQ CAW. And of course, then I came across a little shaky cam company called Anime Championship Wrestling. So No DQ and Anime Championship Wrestling were the 2 colleagues that I first watched. And those who know Anime Championship Wrestling, that's Hakeem Johnson. So yeah, I was watching Hakeem Johnson. Me and Hakeem were born in 91. This was back in 05, so we're both. Fuck, we were both 14? Yeah, fuck. That's almost 20 years ago. Fuck. But we so that's what I but yeah, so ACW and No DQ were my 2 big inspirations. I wanted to get into Call very, very early. It was around 08 when I actually had my very first Call League. And that was TXCW, Total Extreme Call Wrestling. It was just a bunch of my friends' calls that I made. Can't remember too many characters because it's been so long. But I only lasted like a month because my PS3 broke. When I was able to, I got a capture card. I had a roster. I got editing software. which was fucking Windows Movie Maker. And my shit broke. And my PS3 broke. So yeah, TXCW only lasted for a fucking month because, well, my PS3 broke. And then I tried to bring it back because I was able to get the game because it was on SmackDown vs. Raw 2008. I was able to get 2009, and I was able to get SmackDown vs. Raw 2009 on the PS2, and I was able to record on a VCR, and I was able to get that transferred over onto my computer with my Dazzle. But that only lasted for a while because then my computer broke. So yeah. So TXCW was just, it was never meant to happen. Then I came back again with another wrestling company. Again, this only lasted for about a month, and that was UWS. Which was supposed to be like the success. It was supposed to be like, it was TXCW, but it had like a lot of characters from there. But this was supposed to be like its big rebranding. And I was like, okay, I was finally gonna do it, and then I just lost interest in doing it. Because I just couldn't find the time or anything like that. And then finally, a couple years later, I come out with another colleague, XWA, and now that was based on an EFED I was a part of, and that lasted for a good while, but a lot of the characters on there were from people from the EFED, but the thing is, no one from the EFED was very interested, and at first I was like, oh, finally I was getting a colleague all to myself, and I'm finally doing it, but just no one from that EFED was just interested in watching it, so eventually that is like, no, fuck it, like, if no one's very interested in it, why am I doing it? What the fuck? Charles, what the fuck? Why the fuck did you... Oh, God damn it. Of course you fucking messaged me. So, yeah. And eventually, I was just going to give up. I'm like, I'm not destined to do a call. But then, one day, it was like... I was going to do... something similar to what Adam was doing, you can say. But this was my own league, where I was just going to have random shit happen. I was just going to have AI versus AI. And I was going to call it World Wacky Wrestling. This is back in 2016. So it was going to be called WWW. I was going to have like Hank Hill. I was going to have fucking fucking Child the Hedgehog. And I was going to have a bunch of meme characters on there. It was supposed to be like a wacky league. But then one day I just started making... But then one day, while I was just looking for characters for the show, I started finding like these really good characters, like of Tiger Mask, and this was around when the Tiger Mask anime was coming out too. And then I was like... But then I was looking around, I was seeing like these real good calls and stuff like that, and I was like, you know what? I think I know what the issue was. I was trying to do call with just original. I'm going to do a fantasy league this time. Because all my attempts were all original feds. So I was like, you know what? Maybe I can actually do something with this. Or at least, I wanted to at least do one season. To do one season from beginning to end. Where I could say, hey, I finally did call one season and then not stop because of bullshit reason, and I could finally say, hey, I did it. And so in 2016, UWO was born. And for a while there, like the first month of UWL in 2016. This was in December of 2016. I was coming out with a weekly episode. Like, I was getting stuff like done on like Tuesdays. I was getting episodes out on Tuesdays. I was actually doing it weekly. Um, and I was getting ready for UWO's first event, which was Path to Exile, which was just the Path of Exile game, but I used the logo from Path of Exile, the game, for my as my logo for the event. And that was supposed to come out in January of 2017, and then on January 1st, my father was hospitalized, and then a couple of days later, we found out that he had, cancer. He had kidney cancer. And for a good while there, UWO just went off and on. Like, I did episodes weren't coming out as quickly, but I at least did episodes. Like, every once in a while I would do an episode. But mostly it was me helping me take care of my father. And then in March of 2018, my father passed away after a year and a half battle with kidney cancer. And seeing my father take his last breath, it was very hard. It was very hard on me. And I remember, I think it was like 2 days after his funeral, I was just so down. So fucking down. I just needed to do something to get my mind off of what was going on at that moment. So I started picking UWL back up, and I started releasing episodes again. Now, they weren't, they weren't as spontaneous, they weren't, weekly as they originally had them, but they were coming out at least maybe once or twice a month, to the point where I could finally, at least I got to my original, big, pay-per-view before Slavation was, Fade to Glory. I got to Fade to Glory. I was about to get to Fade to Glory. I was like, that right there, that's going to be the last thing of UWO. I was finally able to get a colleague at least one season done, and I could finally have closure and say, hey, I did it. Yeah, UWO didn't get that many eyes, but hell, I had some fans. Eris Williams was my first fucking fan. And I know John Black I watched a couple of episodes, and even Adam Jackpot. So I at least knew I had some fans. And I was going to go out on my terms. And then I got a message on Facebook that pretty much changed everything for me. And that's when I got a message from Hakeem Johnson. And that's when he gave me the offer for UWL to be the NXT for ACW. And that right there changed so much shit in my life. Because of that, UWL Rush was going to be the NXT. That's what the original show was. It was Rush because it was all fantasy. And then, but yeah. And because of that, that's when I started getting more noticed. I started getting more people looking at what I was doing. And eventually Adam Jackpot asked me to do commentary for a New Dawn show. I think it was actually a Crazy Stuff show that he had me do. I can't remember what he had me do. And that's where I met Hit Kid. That's where I met V-Poc. That's where I met Zahaya. I mean, I was already in the VW server, but I was just there as a fan. I was pretty much in the position that you were in, Maddie, that Jose's in, that a lot of y'all were in currently right now, where I was just a fan. Or we're just a person in there. But eventually they gave me a role where I could get into a voice chat with everyone. And that's where I ended up meeting D-Wall, where I met Malik, where I met Di, where I met MTB. And that was the beginning of so many friendships for me. And I just think back to that day, a couple of days after my father's funeral, where I was so down that I needed to distract myself, and I was able to pick up UWL, and just that right there was able to lead me into the friendships that I have now. So yeah, that's kind of like the origins of UWL, right there, and what UWL means to me. Yeah. Shit. I just realized what time it is. So I'm gonna head off with this. Thank you all for enjoying Salvation. Thank you to everyone who came to this live stream, this spontaneous live stream. And thank you to everyone who's been part of this journey with me. And I hope to continue to entertain you with the next season in both UWL, CPW, and everything VW related. You all take care. God bless. I love you all.